Welcome to episode 24. It is election night, and I am currently already shitting my pants. We are at 8:14 Central Time. Florida is gone for Trump. I mean, he's up 3.2 right now. We are looking
Unreal.
at a much closer election than most forecasters had. We haven't seen Pennsylvania or Michigan really come in yet, so that still remains to be seen. It could still be a blowout. But Texas and Florida are looking really good for Donald Trump. And Ohio could go to Biden, which would pretty much end things for Donald Trump. But we will see. I am here with my esteemed co-host Maria and
Hey, what's up?
and producer Jared, who is afraid to show his pimple, even though it is tiny.
It's actually named Jerry. It's not.
You put Sharpie on your head and say Jerry.
I will do that.
You gotta put a little
For a
smiley
dollar.
face on him.
Obviously, the campaign. We saw attempts at voter suppression in Texas and Harris County, 127,000 votes that they claimed to be unconstitutional because they were at drive-through voting, which is crazy because the GOP helped come up with the drive-through voting concept, including putting fans in there to help carbon monoxide emissions and make people didn't get carbon monoxide poisoning. And then they turn around, try and sue, and get literally 1% of the population of Texas thrown out. Which is insane. And most of those votes are Democratic because it's Harris County. It's outside of Houston. You're talking about something that could decide a whole state, 127,000 votes. You have that, and then you have the Texas bus incident where they slammed into a Texas bus and intimidated.
It was Biden's bus.
Yeah,
in
well,
Texas.
Biden wasn't on, either was Harris, but it was Biden-Harris bus. Yes, they were going to Austin for a rally. I just don't understand how our president, Donald Trump, could condone that and encourage that. I mean, it fits along with the character of him.
It definitely fits along with his character, but I don't. There were so many people. I go on and read the Facebook comments just to see what everyone thinks, and people are a lot more authentic on the internet in that sense, just because they're behind that wall of the computer, right? So
Yeah.
You have people that were like, "What? It was just a friendly Texas welcome," and it's like, bro, if anything like that would have happened to Donald Trump,
Yeah,
people would be rioting.
That is the theory that the pollsters that got 2016, 2018, that the Republican pollsters, the Trafalgar Group, that is their theory, is that people are more open on the internet than in person or over the phone. So they do their polling for their polls through computer rather than doing cold calls because they believe people are more honest on the internet about their affiliations. So we'll see if that's true. So far, Florida, they have been dead on. He is winning. He's actually out projecting what Trafalgar Group had. Trafalgar Group had him at 2.1. He's at 3.2 right now, the last time I checked. The fact that the way he performed in Miami-Dade is absolutely insane. We'd heard for a couple weeks that he was performing well there because of Cubans and Venezuelans. But to imagine him only being 100,000 off and a Democratic stronghold is just insane, especially in a huge stronghold like that in Florida, not California, excuse me. And it just speaks to, I guess, how fucking weird Florida is.
With how fucking weird Florida is, because it is, even people that I've talked to that are from Florida, they're like, yeah, they already know. I think just because of how weird it is and how much of a literal melting pot it is, you're going to see a lot of hate just because you see a lot of brown people there. But I don't really suspect that Florida wouldn't do something like this. You were telling me about the one lady that was super crazy down in Florida.
Yeah.
That everyone was just like, go girl, yes, we love it.
I'm trying to check Ohio right now because Ohio is one to really watch right now. North Carolina starting to look a little more iffy now. Donald Trump's within about 100,000 with 20% outstanding. Ohio looking a little more iffy now too. He had a 300,000 vote lead. Now it's down to about 170,000 with 57 in. See, I honestly thought that he would probably win Ohio. North Carolina, I thought was really a good chance that Joe Biden would win that. I'm feeling less comfortable about that with 22 outstanding. I haven't looked at the map to see what's outstanding still. It could be Durham or something, which is a huge Democratic stronghold. But if he holds on to North Carolina, if he wins North Carolina and he wins Ohio, this becomes a very close race. This becomes where we are watching Pennsylvania like a hawk and Michigan. That's what some pollsters predicted earlier this week. The ones that weren't as far, down the Joe Biden's up 10 points nationally, which doesn't really make sense with everything I've heard. If we get down to that, it's Pennsylvania, Arizona, Michigan. Arizona can play a big role here. If he can flip Arizona blue, it's hard for Donald Trump to hold on. Donald Trump needs to hold on to the states he had in 2016 and also try and grab other states too. I don't think he's going to pick up all of Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. If he picks up one of those, it's still interesting. But if he loses both, it's trending toward Joe Biden winning.
In the second that you were talking, Wisconsin was leading blue and now it is leading red.
Okay, well, is it how far are we percentage-wise? Because that's a big difference. Because a lot of it's early voting. You're looking at absentee ballots. You're looking at that. Those are overwhelmingly Democratic in most states. So you're going to look at a red mirage or a blue mirage because Wisconsin counts their election votes first. So most of those votes will be for Donald Trump because Donald Trump's been discouraging mail-in voting and absentee ballots. So it could be a red mirage. And I think that's what some people have been warning about.
I gotcha.
So,
and you're right. It is only 3% reporting, but it was going blue earlier, but like it just started leading red.
Yeah, so we've got 97% to go. If Biden wins that, it bodes well for him in Michigan and Pennsylvania. Most of the time, when you look at those states, they usually go together. Not always, but usually. Last 4 years, we've seen them all kind of be the same result or typical results, same typical results.
Makes sense. Different industry is thriving there, so I get that.
Good indicator too. If Donald Trump wins by +5 or more in Iowa, which the poll from Des Moines Register yesterday had it +7, if he's +7 in Iowa, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin are all raised within margins. They're all very similar working class states. They are all similar demographics. Excuse me. You have white non-college graduates who are blue collar, working in factories, farmers. That is your makeup of those voters, and it's something that Donald Trump thrived on last time. That and those over 65. So those were his big voter groups last time. If he finds a way to win those again, which he was underperforming in Florida with those, but he's still winning Florida. If he performs well with those in the Rust Belt, he's going to win re-election. That's not a given yet. We don't know a lot. Pennsylvania's gonna take a long time to come in. So is Michigan. Wisconsin will be a good indicator, though.
I don't know how I can liken it. It's like slowly watching sand drip down into into the hourglass.
Jared's name. You suck, Jared.
What?
I love you.
Come on.
Freaking out.
I put the map up.
Yeah. I'm just looking at Twitter trying to get a better idea of what's going on. Real time. GOP Dem uncalled races. Is the GOP set to hold on to the Senate here? Or is that governor? That's governor. Never mind. Forgive me.
You are forgiven.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes.
Oh, what?
The betting markets in Vegas moved.
To what?
So, I don't know if you guys are aware of how betting works. So, if you're a plus, that means you're a favorite. So, Donald Trump's gone from a -500, which means he's a long shot, to a -145 in the last 5 hours. -145 means he's almost a favorite. It means it's 50-50 almost. This is a big time gambler just posted this. He has moved to where he is just a slight underdog now. He's no longer a major underdog. He's a slight underdog. -145 means he's in the race. They think he got a shot. It means money's being placed down on him, which is not good.
No.
But yeah, that does not bode well. -145 is not good.
Anyone else anxious as hell? Just me?
Holy shit. Okay, another better just now.
Mm-hmm.
Trump is now the slight favorite in offshore betting markets.
No. Oh, God. Give me this.
Arizona will. Somebody just said this as a political person. Arizona will be the real time that Democrats panic. If Arizona goes red, expect major panic among Democratic operatives.
I told you, Arizona makes me nervous, man.
Bovada, new odds. They're both even, 50-50. Joe Biden and Donald Trump both co-favorites now.
Is that online casino?
Bovada, yeah, they're an online casino that operates in Vegas, yes. Bovada is usually a really good indicator of things, though. They had Donald Trump as a favorite last election in 2016. Odds on pretty much every betting site except for Bovada switched to Donald Trump being the favorite. I mean, I don't like to be that guy, but usually betting markets are a good translation to what they see happening in here. People that lay down big money on those things typically have some kind of insider information.
Not trying to get all conspiracy on you, but that leads me to believe that there is insider information to be had. You know, who has that information?
I think so. For example, what's his name? I think his name. I remember his name. The guy that runs the board on CNN.
Mm-hmm.
He was saying tonight that they can tell on the ground what's happening. So it's possible that these people that are big bettors, that are big fish, big sharks on here, they're putting in phone calls to ground workers that know what's going on at the polling places. So, for example, he was talking about Palinas County, which is St. Petersburg in Florida, and he's about 2016 that he got a phone call way before they knew Trump was going to win. That one of the Democratic operatives called in and said, "We're fucked. We're going to lose Florida." When he saw the lines out the door and all the Trump hats, he said, "We are so fucked. It's done. We're going to lose Florida." So I think that that's possible. Is what you're seeing the big bettors have those ground workers that are getting information from them. I mean, I'm not conspiracy theory, all tinfoil hat or anything, but it would make sense that they would know somebody that's on the ground there and know what's going on. Ohio looks really good right now. Biden is outperforming all projections right now. So if he can win Ohio, it's done. Doesn't matter what the bettors say. Ohio seals it. It doesn't matter if he loses Florida, doesn't matter if he loses Texas. If he wins Ohio, it's done. Texas, he's outperforming in San Antonio. I just saw it now. He's outperforming Hillary Clinton in San Antonio, which is fucking awesome. Hold it down for that area. That's just so awesome. The Hispanics and the Latinos came out in force for Joe Biden. I know he wasn't their choice, but they weren't going to let somebody who was going to try to kick him out of the country stay in office. I'm pretty sure Trump's going to win. He's down 5,000 right now, but the fact that he overperformed there speaks well for him the rest of the map. We're at 3,999,000 to 3,993,000.
Do you see how Oklahoma did? Tulsa County and Oklahoma County are blue, and literally everything else is red.
That's always see. Last time it was that way too. Oklahoma County was blue, and so was Tulsa, part of Tulsa.
That is insane to me.
I don't know what my district did. I know I voted for Joe Biden. I know that Melissa Provenzano, who is a candidate in our district, was doing polling really well, and she's a Democrat. I think that's because you're seeing a lot of younger people move into Tulsa area because it's kind of a hipster town like Austin. I don't think
it is
flips anytime soon, but I think that we're getting to the point where the electorate is getting younger each cycle, and you're getting to the point where Democrats are going to run the board, unless the Republicans change their strategy and stop just spewing xenophobia and homophobia and racism. If they stop clinging to that, they have a chance to get some of the young vote. But right now, I mean, if they don't win this year, 2024, theoretically, it should be a landslide for whoever the Democratic nominee is. But we've said that the last two fucking cycles,
theoretically,
and it hasn't fucking happened. So I don't know where these people are coming from out of the fucking woodwork. I don't know if Jim Bob and his cousin wife are coming out of the woodwork. Yes, I know that was offensive. Fuck you if you got offended.
They got offended just means they're incestuous. So rightfully so.
You see that girl? This is not related, but it's funny. You seen that girl on TikTok that every time there's a video of somebody doing something weird with their family member that she sings "Sweet Home Alabama"?
No.
Pulls out a guitar and she goes, "Sweet Home Alabama" every time. It's good.
What are you guys drinking right now?
Tito's.
Cherry Coke or
I'm probably gonna get a beer
vodka and
just a
Coke.
minute because I'm not gonna drink vodka all night because I'll get sick.
Heavy emphasis on the vodka on this one.
So their forecast had him at 1.9 Florida for Trump, which was high end. He's at 3.2 right now. Wow, this is just wow. North Carolina's gonna be close. He's up 1.6 right now, and they have a forecast for Biden winning by 0.1 still. But the other forecasts have Biden basically losing. Like, there's no way he wins.
Do you think Democrats are going to control the Senate?
Dude, if they don't win Georgia or North Carolina, I don't think so. Georgia, they were counting on. They have 2 seats there that they thought they were going to win, with Ossoff and Loeffler being really exposed. If they don't win those seats, I don't think they take the Senate. They needed to win Georgia and North Carolina. If that flips in the next couple of hours, then yes, there's absolutely a chance they flip it. I think they gain seats in the House still. I think they still hold control of the House. I think you're looking probably, and this is just my best guess right now, you're looking at a split government with Republicans in the Senate and then Democrats in the House. I will not speak on who the president's going to be because I don't want to put any like bad luck or good luck or any bad juju in the air. So I'm really not sure who our president's going to be. I'm feeling – so I was at 70-30 yesterday, Biden, where I felt 70% confident he was going to win. 60-40 this morning when I woke up, about 50-50 when I got this afternoon. And then when the exit polls started coming in, I was about 60-40. I think Trump's going to win. My stomach's been in knots most of the day. Honestly, I'm not even going to lie. I've been a little nauseous.
I think Trump's probably going to win North Carolina.
If he does, that's big for him. Like he needs to hold that whole South in order to have a shot. I think you're looking at a scenario where Biden has so many ways to win. It was the same way in 2016. Trump has maybe one path, and he has to hold the whole South and then pick off 2 in the Rust Belt. Biden can still win without any of the South states and just take off the whole Rust Belt. He wins and win Arizona, which is still possible. You're looking at like I said before 10 minutes ago, an increasingly younger demographic of voters, increasingly more liberal demographic of voters. And you're seeing that in urban areas, and you're seeing that in suburbs. You're seeing that in North Carolina in places like Raleigh and around Wake Forest in that area. You're seeing that there's a lot more Democrats there now. Texas, you're seeing that. You're seeing that in San Antonio and Austin and Houston. You're seeing a lot more of a Democratic voter base. And I think that leads to them flipping at some point. I know the Democrats felt confident in Texas, Florida, and Georgia. Texas, Georgia, North Carolina. I felt more confident in those than Florida. Florida was 8th on their list among states I thought they could win. They had all the Rust Belt states above it. They thought Florida was still kind of a reach. They thought it was going to be close. I don't think they imagined them losing it by 2 points, which is what it's looking like right now. It's always within a percentage point usually. So for them to lose it by 2 points makes me nervous about Georgia, North Carolina. Because if he wins that big in Florida, and again, like we said a little bit ago, Florida's just fucking weird, but it does speak to the rest of the South to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. I think that the influx of these new liberal voters, I think that that's literally the only choice. You have one choice that's like, okay, maybe I could see everyone just being fair and together and everyone gets an equal shot at everything. Or like, yeah, I could hate everything and spew out all this racist and bigoted stuff. And there's such a dichotomy to that. They're so polar opposite that it causes that division. And I think when you are an educated kid, you kind of see through how stupid that bigotry is. So I think that it's definitely going to flip within the next, I want to say like decade. I was hoping that it would be sooner than that, but I mean,
he's got
I was hoping that it would be in.
It's just a question of, did Trump do enough to bring out more of the blue collar class? And did he woo enough Hispanics and Latinos to his side? And there's some people saying he's wooing black voters too. I mean, he won 9% of black voters last time or less against Clinton.
How?
I don't know. I think it speaks to how messed up our country is.
Truly.
I don't understand how anybody, I mean, I'm white, so I can't speak to it like literally, but I don't understand how any person of color or anybody who was LGBTQ could vote for him. I just don't. I had this conversation with several people that were my friends that are white. They were talking about how, Trump's not that bad for them. And it's like, yeah, so you're a white male. You're the least, affected group by any of his policy. You're a white, straight male. And so you're not affected by him. So yeah, he's fine to you because he's not affecting with any of his policy. And I think that speaks to our country being selfish. We're selfish voters most of the time. and we don't tend to think about others when we vote.
I think it goes back to that sort of like you're in your own bubble
Yep.
kind of thing. So if you
Yep.
don't have that expansive
and like
view,
the constant whataboutism from Republicans is just frankly disgusting.
I'll give you a really good example. So I looked on the Facebook comments of that that Biden bus that was
The Texas
getting
bus, yeah.
pushed. Yeah, that was pushed off
Mhm.
the road in Texas, or like they hit the bus or whatever. And I went to those Facebook comments and they were like, "Oh yeah, Joe Biden driving that big old diesel bus. That should be an electric bus. What is he doing? What about all that Green New Deal shit he was talking?" And I was like, "Man, can you focus on the actual matter at hand and not like, okay, yes, we would like everything to be clean and green, but that takes time."
John King calls the election fun again. I'm putting a ski mask on. Like, they're gonna rob him. And somebody else said, this is like being awake during your own surgery.
Oh my god.
And then somebody else said, regardless of the outcome, this country is an absolute disgrace. See, I was prepared for this, but I'm still not prepared. What the fuck? Like,
you've got to drink more vodka.
No, I don't want to be hungover tomorrow. I mean,
it's only Wednesday.
If democracy picks Donald Trump, I think that one, we need to point back to voter suppression, 300,000 votes, USPS. And people are gonna call it sour grapes. It's 300,000 fucking votes. It's not sour grapes. It is literally almost the size of the city I live in, votes that have not been counted.
Are you saying you don't like raisins?
I do like raisins. I like craisins better, but I like raisins. I don't see it. We can call it legitimate all we want, but I just don't see a way that we can be like, yeah, Donald Trump won without any nefarious acts going on when they're fucking suing in 30 states to stop voting, after November 3rd. And he's talking about how there's voter fraud and people shouldn't have their vote.
He's the one causing voter fraud. He shut down the post office. He delegitimized mail-in voting.
And he's talking about how there's going to be problems if people are voting after November 3rd in Pennsylvania. He's threatening violence, basically. I don't understand how somebody could just think it's completely legitimate. I know there's going to be the callback from the Trump people that like, oh, it's not legitimate if Biden wins either. And it's like, no, like, they're not trying to fucking stop you from voting. They're not. You can vote all you want. You're the ones trying to fucking stop voting in swing states. Like, is that the only way you can win now? Like, Jesus, like, what is wrong with you as a party if you think the only way to win is by lawsuits?
Hey, if Trump University, it's like Trump University starting up again, God.
Nothing will go wrong with that.
Nate Silver's got to be sweating, projecting a 30% Trump win in 2016 is one thing. Projecting a 10% Trump win in 2020 is something else entirely if Trump wins again. At some point, the data isn't reliable enough to produce useful projections, and no one will pay attention to them.
Ohio's very close right now.
Did it get closer?
Yeah,
it was 100. It was 117 last time I looked. What is it now? It's 40,000.
It's like very close, like 2% off at least.
Okay, well,
0.2%. 0.2%.
12 million people, I think, in Ohio. So if 2% is what it's at, I don't know how much is left, but that could be enough.
No, I meant 0.2%.
Oh fuck, Jared! Jared, you buried the lead.
You kind of sounded like my ex-girlfriend for a minute, but okay.
What? Do I make you horny, Jared? Needles have turned sharply towards Trump in Florida, Georgia, North Carolina. Freaking North Carolina went from leaning Trump to now fucking 96% Trump, likely to win. I hate you all. That's all I'm going to say.
Why? Why? What has he done to enrich your life other than give you a pandemic
here's the crazy
your
thing.
stock market?
I see a lot of people complaining about the taxes that Biden wants to impose. And my question is how is it going to affect your $15 an hour or less? How are you going to be taxed?
Exactly.
You're not making $400,000 a year. If you're making $400,000 a year, marry me. Like, come on. Like, there's no way you're making enough to get taxed that at the rate that he's talking about. He's not talking about you making $6 or $7 an hour, you know, busting tables or being waitresses, which nothing wrong with that. But if you're caping for a president that'll protect the rich, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Trump's gonna win Michigan.
Shut up. Shut up. It's too early.
Wisconsin's, I mean, Biden is up there, but Trump's really trailing.
Oh, fuck. Trump just took the lead in Ohio. You've got to be fucking kidding me, America.
Well.
Fuck you, America. I'm kidding. I love America.
We are watching democracy die, y'all.
Can I be part of the YouTube video for 2020 where I just am in shock when like the numbers start turning to like the percentage of somebody winning? I mean, we expected Trump to win Ohio.
This is a shit show.
But like, yo, like if he wins any of the Rust Belt, that's when I officially panic. I'm already at a level of panic, but my panic goes from about 60% to like 8% real fucking quick if he wins Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, or Michigan. I don't think he does, but if he does, woo, it's already a whole new race. The betting market's already moving, which tells me they know something we don't. Either that or they're just a bunch of idiots that just throw money around.
I don't think that they throw money around.
I don't understand it, man. Someone just
but
said
taxes, Rich. But taxes. My 401k.
You've got to be fucking kidding me. Odds just moved in Arizona too. Trump went from
I done told you
to negative 200, which means he's within striking distance. He's a slight underdog now.
I told you Arizona was gonna go.
Someone said it's still likely.
Arizona is not as progressive as it seems.
No, they're the one that had that. What is that dude's name who was in Arapahoe County? The sheriff that was like rounding up Hispanics.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. They went progressive in 2018. That's why I don't understand what's going on. How much has changed in 2 years? It's gotten worse, not better, you dumbasses. I'm just wondering if people being premature and freaking out because a lot of people on Twitter saying like it's done, Trump's gonna win, and I'm like I haven't seen the numbers from the Rust Belt yet, so like I'm not that worried yet, but I'm definitely reaching that point of worry.
I'm not calling it until it's finalized. No, I'm not. I'm terrified.
Nate Silver's trying to defend his model right now on Twitter, talking about how things are boding well for Biden. It's like everybody else is flipping the fuck out besides you, Nate. He's like, we shouldn't worry about everything. Florida's an outlier. And it's like, no.
Florida's not an outlier. It's a fucking swing state.
Florida's weird, though. I'm going to agree with Nate a little bit here. So Nate did a really good job in 2008, 2012. He pretty much nailed the map. 2016, I don't know what the fuck happened. He was way off. I mean, he was within the national poll, like the popular vote. He was within that margin of error that. But the rest of the shit, he was way fucking off. With the swing states and stuff, and if he wins tonight, they're even farther off because they were saying like he was ahead like 8 points Pennsylvania and Michigan, and that he was like up 2 in Florida. If he loses all those states, like it changes polling for forever. Like polling is thrown out the window, and they got to come up with new algorithms because they're fucked. I mean, it's done. You know, you no longer can count on these pollings to be accurate if they're saying he's up 10 points nationally, and he only wins by 1 or 2 points and loses the election. I still think he wins the popular vote. I don't think that he's going to lose it no matter what. Does he lose the electoral college? Possibly. I'm in a tailspin. No candidate since 1960 has lost Ohio and become president.
Don't. Why?
Lorain County, which Hillary Clinton won by 131 votes in 2016, is now showing Trump winning it with 99% reporting. I'm starting to think that the Trafalgar Group, man, was dead on again. And that's fucking scary.
They're
talking about shy Trump voters, and all their pollsters are like, we didn't miss the shy Trump voters. And it's like, well, what the fuck's going on in North Carolina and Georgia if you didn't miss them? Because they were talking about how he was ahead in Georgia. Like,
Biden was ahead or Trump was ahead?
Biden was ahead, and they were winning their Senate races there. So I'm just confused about what's going on. I'm a former Republican, no longer, but I don't recognize my party. We've let hatred and division politics and gerrymandering and suing to make people's votes not count be our new model. And I mean, it already was a thing in the past where it was small instances of it, but we've reached a fever pitch of this where we can't seem to find a way to win without interfering in the courts. And I think it's possible this election goes to the courts, and I have 100% confidence that Biden loses that fight. You're talking about a Supreme Court that has 6 conservative justices. He's not winning that even if he has a good case, probably. And that's not fair to say about judges, but I know who Brett Kavanaugh and Amy Coney Barrett are, and they don't give a fuck about the freaking Constitution. They give a fuck about partisan politics.
Yep.
I think you're looking at a case where even if he possibly is within not margin of error, if he's within recount distance, Pennsylvania, he finds a way to sue and he wins that state. And that's why I'm hoping that he just blows him the fuck out in Pennsylvania. Because otherwise it gives Trump a legal claim where he can sue for a recount and, claim voter fraud and toss out ballots because the signatures don't match, and et cetera, et cetera. It's something that happened in 2000 to Al Gore and George W. Bush. It's something that could happen again this year. And this is the first time I felt like that could happen again in 20 years. We're back to that point again.
Let me ask you guys this. Why do you think Trump wants to stay in power?
Power?
I was hoping you would ask this question. So whenever it comes down to Trump and the current political climate that we're in, his behavior is extremely continuous with that of a dictator. The fact that he is lying to people, he is convincing them to believe him and nobody else, not the media, not scientists. He's discrediting people who have given their lives and devoted their lives to the study of something. And he claims that he has more, for lack of a better word, clout or understanding or knowledge on the matter when he has no fucking idea. So to me, it's all his agenda. I believe that this is a huge tipping point in America and in democracy. And I don't think that Donald Trump is fit to be a president because of all of the things that he has done. He was impeached, but the Senate would not remove him from office. That speaks volumes about our country. And I think that
while
we
we're
will
on
be
that, can I just add
forever
a point?
ostracized. Hold on. I think that we will be forever ostracized from anything else in the world, much like North Korea is, because of this election. Truly, we had 4 years to learn our lesson. We had 4 years to learn our fucking lesson, and we are making the same mistakes again, and it's disgusting. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say that when you talk about impeachment, you're talking about that Republican senators voted for it to impeach him, like Mitt Romney, and I'm wondering where their balls went when it came to the confirmation of Amy Coney Barrett.
True.
Did
True
they
that.
just
Where the fuck
lose
did
them?
their balls go?
Yeah, I mean, you were confirming a justice 8 days before the election. Fuck's wrong with you? You didn't confirm a justice 360 days before Obama was out of office, but 8 days before is fine. That's why people like Lindsey Graham need to be out of office. People like Susan Collins need to be out of office. They need to be out on their asses.
Term limits.
Absolutely. But you know what? They're never going to vote for that because they get to decide their salaries. They have almost no chance of losing re-election because most voters, and I'm not having percentages to back this up, but I feel like this is the case. There's a lot of voters that just go into the ballot and just go, oh, this guy's the incumbent, whatever, fuck it. I'm just gonna, check this name.
Yep.
And I don't know the numbers on that, so I'm not gonna pretend like that's just my theory. I've talked to plenty of people recently that've said that. Oh, I just kind of go with whoever the incumbent is. And it's like, well, do you read their fucking policies? Do you look at anything, or do you just go in there and you're just like, oh, okay, whatever?
Yeah. I think that that's very true. I think that also America has become so ill-informed. I mean, truly, we have become so ill-informed that we don't know the policies of our local government. And that affects us too, because a lot of people, like you said, vote for the incumbent without even knowing. They're just like, oh, I know this guy, I know his name, or I've seen these posters around. I'm not saying that everybody doesn't do their research. I believe that a lot of people do their research, but I think that also the people that are voting in those midterm elections, the people that are voting in these big elections are the same people that have been doing it since they got the right to. I mean, not to say that, but old people consistently, elderly, 65 plus people are consistently at the polls. And I think that we have to match that energy in order to have any weight to throw around.
It's just, when I saw the voter turnout numbers early on in this race, I was fairly confident that this was going to be a Biden landslide with the numbers I saw with early voting, because Trump's been so adamant against early voting and against voting, through mail and absentee ballots. And so I thought, landslide, Biden 2020. But our country continues to disappoint me. They got to make things closer, I guess, than it's supposed to be. And it's hard to continue to have faith. Is that like I'm going to cry smile?
The Ohio
No,
Ohio right now, Trump's 50.8%, Biden's 47.9%.
Fuck, man, what the? Yo, Ohio, dude, what's wrong with you? I'm changing my name from Come On Ohio to Come On Michigan.
Texas is 68% reporting Donald Trump up by a 2% margin.
I had a feeling he was going to win, but if he keeps with the 2 points, that's something you could flip in 4 years.
What's Kanye West? What's his poll at right now?
No, we're not even going to indulge that.
I want to know though.
I don't think it shows, but I think it shows other because you have Joe Jorgensen and somebody else, but I think he's considered other.
Too.
There's a link. Kanye West votes for himself.
Did you see that? How he voted? Can we talk about that for a second? So that dumbass wrote in his own name in Wyoming or wherever the fuck his ranch is, and then voted for no one else on the ballot and just said, fuck the Senate and the House. I'm voting for myself, and that's all that matters.
Weird.
He's so weird. You know what's even funnier? One of his best friends, Kid Cudi, posted vote for Biden like an hour after Kanye voted for himself, and it's like not a good day for Kanye.
Apparently he was polling higher than Biden and Trump.
No, the Kentucky thing. No, that's fake. That's fake.
Fake.
That was they run testing on their Kentucky on the polling systems. He got somebody sent him the polling system thing, and he freaked out and said, "Check this out! I'm polling higher than." So
that'll be in a song. I
almost won Kentucky,
but I really wasn't that lucky. I don't know.
Out of all the states, that back-ass words state was gonna vote for Kanye West.
Hey, dude, you never know.
There's no fucking way.
Look at America, Ridge. Look at America. Read the room.
Every market sign I'm seeing is pointing to a Donald Trump victory. Doesn't mean we don't see a change in the next 2 hours. Things can flip on their heads. We saw that in 2016, where we went from Hillary Clinton's going to win to she's fucked. I think that honestly, and I don't mean this in the nicest way possible, constructive criticism. If the Democrats lose again, it's their fault. They picked another weak candidate. They picked another old candidate. They picked another old guard. They picked another candidate that can't translate to the youth and can't translate to those who are looking for hope and change. Joe Biden is closer to Hillary Clinton than Barack Obama. And he can cling to Barack Obama. I was Barack Obama's vice president. But Barack Obama brought about hope and, hope and change, as he said. And I was not Obama's biggest fan, but he brought about, this mystical hope and change and this belief that we could make America better. Joe Biden is another placeholder candidate. That's what he is. Hillary Clinton, substantially more flawed than Joe Biden, but they had to blame themselves. They voted this man into the position of where he is the candidate. You had better candidates all around him. You had Andrew Yang, you had Pete Buttigieg, you had Elizabeth Warren, you had Bernie Sanders. You had 4 better candidates just off the top of my head that are better than Joe Biden. I'm not an Elizabeth Warren fan. I'm not necessarily a Bernie Sanders fan.
I hate Elizabeth Warren. Sorry.
I love Bernie Sanders.
Elizabeth Warren's not that great. And Jared can speak on that. He's from Massachusetts. It's his senator.
I don't think Elizabeth Warren's that's great.
There's just so many better alternatives to Joe Biden. Joe Biden is, we just all kind of settled in the middle of the road and decided let's go with this guy. And,
I think a lot of that. I think a lot of that also is the fact that he cast such a wide net to try to get the moderates. Like such a wide net. So, and it's like, just get all that you can.
And we talked about this a couple weeks ago on the podcast, and you were just echoing the point, and perfect that you brought it up. I'm glad you did. He's making some of the same missteps Hillary Clinton did, where it's like, let's get the moderates and Republicans. Exactly. And he's trying to hug the line between progressive and middle of the road guy. That doesn't fucking work. Pick your lane. Are you progressive or are you middle of the road Democrat who works on both sides of the aisle? It's one or the other. One of them is going to push out the young voters, and one of them is going to push out the old voters. You got to make your choice. You got to decide what you think the better electorate is for you.
Go for the youth.
Yeah, exactly. And youth is going to be pushed by progressive policy, not by middle of the road bullshit where I flip flop every fucking week about fracking and I flip flop every week about global warming and every other fucking issue that's near and dear to the progressives of the Democratic Party. And so I just don't think that we're seeing the numbers that are better for him this year than Hillary Clinton with youth and stuff. But right now, what I'm still seeing is that you've seen a counter action by the Trump supporters where they have come out in record numbers too, apparently, which, I'm really, and this is the nicest way I can say this, I'm really happy that so many people came out for democracy, no matter the result. Will I be upset if a certain candidate wins? Yes.
Yes.
But the fact that we are expressing ourselves in record numbers, most votes since 1900, is incredibly oppressive. It is patriotic, and I would hope that it would lead to more togetherness, but I think it's going to lead to more division. And that's just really sad to think about. And I fear for our country, and I fear for tomorrow. We saw businesses being boarded up in major cities, no matter the result, and we'll just wait to see what happens at sunrise.
I want to insert something here. Biden didn't win the youth vote or for policy. He won the youth vote out of necessity. So it's literally like we're picking Biden because we don't want Trump. That is like the shinier of two turds kind of effect that we're having on here. So to me, it just seems like he cast the wrong net. Literally, if you got a middle-aged candidate that just made a political ad that said "A cab later, bitches," I swear you would get the youth vote. That's all it takes.
So here's where I just want to say something. I started seeing tweets just a second ago where people are blaming the electorate for the failure of the Democrats, and blaming white people. And it made me laugh. But here's the thing. You should blame the biggest Democratic donors and your Democratic candidate if you lose this race. Those donors threw their money behind Joe Biden. They knew he was a weak candidate. They've been saying it for weeks, according to sources, that he's a weak candidate, and they're just hoping to get him through the cycle. You knew it. You telegraphed it. That's your own fucking fault. Don't blame anybody else. You backed this horse. That's your horse. You decided to ride with it. You're done. You picked that guy. That's it. So I just don't understand where there's this sudden turn on it's the voters' problem. No, it is the Democratic Party's problem. They picked this candidate, and they picked this, they picked this whole agenda. They picked everything. And it's saddening and disheartening. Obviously still the Rust Belt to come in. So there's still some interesting things to come.